Test, test.
Oh no, there's no Jason. We lost him. We lost him as soon as the intro started. What's up, everyone? This is the BumCast. I am Bologna. I'm here with Dougie Fresh, Southside Bum. HBIC is joining in a second. I don't know what happened.
All right, I don't know what the hell happened. My graphics froze right before the countdown.
I heard
welcome everyone. It's the BumCast. I'm here.
I heard you say test and then drop, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm starting the show.
Yeah, good job, Peter. Guys, welcome. This is, I feel like, a new era for the Bums. We have super chats.
We're coming in hot. Look at this, baby. Lucky Spags, first one ever, $1.99. Salute to the Bums, first super chat podcast. Salute to you, Lucky Spags. I didn't know what we were gonna do for the first super chat. I know he's a bourbon guy. I'm gonna get him a couple of 2-3 samples. A little like 2-ounce samples of really good stuff for Spags, because you're the first one. I was wondering who's gonna be the first one, and you deserve it. So thank you.
Yeah. So we officially got super chats, and we're gonna be welcoming 2 new sponsors to the show. We officially are getting paid now, boys. Like, yes, it's about time. Hard work's finally paying off. This is probably the most nervous I've been for a show in a very long time, because it's like everything just happened on the same day, with the doing a professional ad reads now, and then the super chats and all that good stuff. Like, so happy about this.
Congrats to all of us. I mean, everyone's been grinding. We've put in the work, so we are happy about that. And we want to thank our sponsors. We're going to talk about them in a little bit. But yeah, no need to be nervous, Jason. This is 175 episodes. We're rolling, baby. This is nothing's changed. Don't let the money get to your head, Jason.
Hey, let me tell you one thing. I am not nervous. I'm not nervous at all. Not one bit. I am so confident that tonight's going to go so good. I even drafted up my 2-week notice. So I might quit tomorrow. I don't know.
I love it. I love the confidence, Dougie.
Well, Dougie, you are going to be out of town next week, so you're going to be off for the next 2 shows. What is it?
Just one. I'm just going to miss one.
Just one. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But we have a special guest tonight. We have Herb Lawrence from CHGO. He's going to be joining us shortly. But, guys, how was your weekend? Good St. Patrick's Day? Did the liver survive? A lot of drinking?
I actually was filming. I have to be very serious about what's, I know we're going to talk about it later, but I had to film. I had to continue filming. Obviously, we filmed last weekend. Obviously, everybody, I'm going to go up against Missy. So I have to come out strong. I have to come out hot. So that's where my mind was. Yes, I went out to Taylor Street. Had a good time over there, but it was mostly filming the whole weekend. I mean, it's, I hope I do you guys proud when all this stuff comes out, but it's been definitely a lot of hard work this past weekend.
Yeah.
I like that you're putting in the grind.
Yes.
And this also was round 2 of the 108 tourney. Me and Peter, we have moved on. We fortunately had to take out the 5th bum, Joey P.
It's tough.
It was sad thing to do, but a little bum on bum crime. But we had to do what we had to do.
It's business, baby. Nothing personal.
Yeah,
we
love Joey. We love Joey.
Joey knew that too. We talked about it. We'll have a couple modelos, we'll have a couple tequilas, and everything will be smooth over. Jason, you know what? I know we had a couple super chats. You want to? Do we have to? We should probably read them out, and I think they're just going too fast.
They're coming in hot. They're coming in hot right now.
They're coming in hot.
Yeah.
So thank you to everyone. I know Jerry, Joey P, Sarah, Lucky Spags, Drew. I don't think we missed Drew. Maybe not. Cheers, gents. Always been fun. Fan of the Bums. Love you guys. Love you too, Drew. Thanks.
Yes, this is new for me. I have to get into a zone now for super
we got to
chats.
get into a rhythm. You know what it is? It's like your 3-point contest. The first couple of ones were shaky. I think you went 1 for 7 in the threes, and then we start getting into a rhythm, and we're nailing them.
Yeah. So yeah, I went out St. Patrick's Day. I love doing stuff. A lot of drinking. I have to put something out there, because I posted the 3 videos of me doing the car bomb like the timers for the car bombs, and I realized I was never going to get to Dougie levels of chugging. But the second, I had to go back and go to the replay, challenge flag on this. The second one I actually did. My wife, she clicked the button incorrectly. When we went back and timed it from the video, it was actually sub 5, so it was like 4.85 seconds as opposed to 6.
Was now back in a different life when I was a lot skinnier in high school, I was in track. What I say, was it wind dated? Is there any asterisk to that 4 point whatever seconds?
No. It was we did multiple times. We checked it, and the first one was accurate. The second one was we had to go back and do a correction on it. And then the third one was accurate as well. But I can still chug some car bombs, so I'm happy with that. That was a sub 5 for my second one.
I'm impressed that you did. So I saw the videos. I liked them, retweeted them. What was the time disparity between each one? Because you posted them fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Were you doing them fairly quickly, or was it like an hour, 2 hours, or whatever?
No. So I think it was like a span of like 30 minutes between 1 and 2. The first one you gotta get used to a car bomb again, and then the second one I was like, all right, yep. And then the second one I'm like, all right, ready? I'm gonna go. I feel like the second one's like the zone. Mm-hmm. But then it was like, okay, like I felt like the third one was going to be like the money maker. But at that point, it was like, all right, I'm sipping I hit 2 car bombs. I got a whiskey. I got some beers. Like, I probably should have Ubered it. I'm like, so I don't want to get too, I'm like, I'm going to save the third car bomb for home. So I had to sober a bit and then go. But, so yeah, I was like, I'm going to do the third one at home and, controlled environment. But that was, the second one was the one I was happy about. So 4.85 seconds was my car bomb chug time.
Proud of yous.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
All right. We got a couple more, Jason. Where do we leave off? Jerry O'Sullivan? Did we get Andy?
We have this fancy star tab now. So I think Julie, I think Joey P was the last one. So we got
Aaron?
Praz. Yeah, we got Aaron. Aaron said,
let's go Bum.
Let's go Bum.
Joey P, long time coming. Appreciate you. Press that I never gave money to my bosses until now. Yeah, this is this business is run differently. We need all of the employees to give us money. So I mean, realistically, Sarah donated. Now we got Julie donated. This is just a human centipede, is what's happening right now. We're just circling money back and forth.
Wait, Dougie's on the show giving us money.
This is well done.
What's going on here?
Well done, Dougie.
Hey, that's like jerking yourself off, Dougie. You just paid yourself.
Well, we got one here.
Oh shit, we can super chat on here. So much to say. Indoors, SIGs hit different. Fields will start in pit, and this is the second most handsome weekly pot. Thank you, Zoe.
I like that. Also, I'll take that. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, I guess we'll talk about Fields in a second. We should bring our guest on in a little bit here, but I have a lot to talk about Fields in Pittsburgh, considering you guys know who I'm married to.
Yes, so because we have a jam-packed show today, a lot happened in Chicago sports this week. Like, in addition to the 108 tourney, it's just been a shit show of fucking just news and with the Sox and the Bears and the Alliance. So we're gonna break it all down. We've been wanting to get Herb on the show for a long time, and he couldn't have come at a better time. So let us now welcome in from CHGO, Herb Lawrence. Welcome to the BumCast, my friend.
Thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate it. About time that I've finally got my schedule together with you guys, and now we're on. I enjoy the show every Monday that comes on.
You're a busy man. So we don't blame you. But yeah, it has been a long time coming, only because you were gracious enough to invite us on the CHGO White Sox show last summer. I believe Vinny was out of town and Sean W. Anderson was out of town. You had us on, and we still talk about that. That day was like us going to like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory or something like that. Was so much fun. Yeah. So we appreciate you having us on, and now we appreciate you being on the podcast because we do have a lot to talk about.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And I love Praz with the Jared thing. That's hilarious.
Never gets old, right? I'm sure it never gets old.
No. I mean, usually sometimes a thing like that would get old, but since it's from Gabe and since the people who get it, I love it. And Jarrett, actually was an intern for us at the Score back in the day, so maybe
okay.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, I've known Jarrett for a minute now.
I knew he was in radio, or he was in radio at the time, and he had
Mhm.
mentioned that, but I didn't know you guys actually crossed paths.
Mm-hmm. Good guy too. I didn't know that he was in the
He's the best.
military when I did know him as an intern, but yeah, learned about him after and seeing him sitting in the 108, got to reconnect with him. So yeah, great guy too.
When he was interning, did he have to walk around with a sticker that said "Not her"?
I think Jarrett I was much bigger and he was smaller cat, so they did not mess us up. I've gotten a little smaller. And so I think we're close to each other now, and Gabe just confuses our brownness together.
That happens with me and Joey P all the time. We look so much alike. It happens all the time. Jason, before we get going, we got to read Jerry O'Sullivan's. I don't think we read his. We flashed it on screen, but we didn't read it. So get the reading, Jason.
Jerry O'Sullivan, thanks to all the bums for all your support in the 108 tourney, and congrats on the super chats. And Jerry, just want to say thanks for the invite, but unfortunately we couldn't make it. But hopefully you extend the invite for next year for your St. Patrick's Day party. We definitely, with more notice, we would like to definitely show up and slam some red and green dots with you. So
I'm in.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get to it. The biggest shocker that happened was Saturday afternoon, and that was Justin Fields got traded for practically peanuts, traded to Pittsburgh for a 6th round pick, conditional, that can move up to a 4th round if based on playing time. So we all knew that this was going to happen. We then there was like the rumors where Ian Rappaport says no, the Bears weren't actively engaged, and then the report came out that they actually were actively engaged for the past couple of weeks, and then people were dragging on polls. Well, he didn't do right by Justin. And then it came out, yeah, they actually they had multiple talks, but then Justin said he wanted to go to Pittsburgh. So they did do right by Justin. So I'll start with you, Herb. Give us your takes on the Justin Fields trade. What are you thinking for it with Caleb Williams most likely coming on now?
Personally, I love Justin. I was a big time Justin fan and wanted him to stay, but I understand why the Bears made that trade. I don't know necessarily why the compensation wasn't as much as we thought it would be. I heard that other teams had higher draft picks to give to the Bears, but Ryan Poles wanted to do right by Justin and send him to a spot that he can compete and he can actually play in. And so I'm happy that he's on an organization like Pittsburgh. And as you know, Peter, that organization is professional. That organization is an organization that hasn't had a losing record in 17 years at least. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to give him the proper tutelage, the proper coaching, the proper leadership that he needs. And so if he fails in Pittsburgh, it's going to be because of himself, not because of the coaching staff doing that. But as far as Caleb Williams, I mean, I'm excited about the player that they say that's going to come in, and I'm excited about the pieces that they've given Caleb Williams to start with. As a rookie, you're not going to have a better landing spot as the 1-1 draft pick when you got 2 wide receivers who are Pro Bowlers. One's probably going to be a Hall of Famer in Keenan Allen. Then you have Cole Kmet as the tight end. The line is a little suspect still. I would love for him to get a left tackle because I'm not too sure on Braxton Jones, but you got Diesel running back and DeAndre Swift. You got Khalil Herbert. You got Roshan Johnson. You have weapons out there. So Caleb Williams can hit the ground running immediately. He's going to need to because the expectation for this Bears team is the playoffs. Yeah. Minimum. Like they were 7-11 last year or 7-10 last year, and he needs to be better than that. The veterans on this team won't expect anything less, and it's unfair for a person who is a rookie quarterback to come in with these expectations, but this is the life that we're living right now. The Chicago Bears are ready for the next step, and they just need the quarterback, not to be spectacular, just to be good enough to win games. And with the pieces they have around him and that defense they have there, man, I think Caleb Williams is in the best spot he could ever land in, any first pick of the draft that ever landed because of who he has around him. Now, the coaching staff, that's another story, but I think that this player can overcome mediocre coaching, especially with the players that he has surrounding him.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing especially for Caleb Williams. And you talked about all the weapons that they're surrounding him with. And that's something that Ryan Poles, credit to him, he's putting his quarterback in a position to succeed where Ryan Pace didn't do that with Justin Fields, especially in the beginning. But of all the pieces that they're adding for the rookie quarterback, whether it be Caleb Williams, which I think it probably will be, but anyone they draft, it might be Shane Waldron, because Shane Waldron is not Luke Getsy. And I feel like they're building that offense to the exact specifications of what Shane Waldron wants, whether it's the 2 tight ends now with Darren Waller and Cole Kmet. They got the 2 big weapons.
Jared.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Jared Everett. I was like, oh man, we got Darren Waller.
No, yeah, Jared Everett. The 2 wide receivers, and then, like you said, 3 very viable running backs. So the pieces are there. Going back to Justin Fields, I think it's unfortunate. We all wanted him to succeed. He was as professional as they came. He put in the time, put in the effort on and off the field. It was just an unfortunate situation, and I don't blame Ryan Poles one bit for wanting to reset the rookie quarterback clock, especially with a new offensive coordinator. You can't have 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years and expect to succeed. It's just a tough scenario. You mentioned Pittsburgh. I think they are the right fit for him, not just with Mike Tomlin and his ties to Ohio State from way back when, but Arthur Smith coming from the Falcons. It just sounded like they both wanted Justin Fields for a long time. Both of those coaches want Justin Fields, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited for him to go and compete. I do think Russell Wilson will probably start the beginning of the year, but that doesn't mean that Justin Fields can't beat him out in training camp. And just going forward, I mean, the Steelers, for them to have Justin Fields and Russell Wilson at $4.5 million, what a luxury that is. And we talk about, Poles cooking all this time, but the GM in Pittsburgh is 2 for 2 on trades with Chicago. So, but yeah, I'm excited. Jason, it was funny when all this news broke. Not to throw you under the bus, but we had to wake you up from a nap. We're like, Jason, things are happening.
That's what happens when you start day drinking on St. Patrick's Day. Sometimes you need that little afternoon power nap. First thing I'm going to say is, number 1, don't ever trade with Pittsburgh ever again, because they cucked us twice. It was like with the 6th round pick, and then all of a sudden, and then back last year with Chase Claypool. Yeah. Don't want Pittsburgh trades anymore. But it sucks though, is because they signed Russ and he's going to be the starter. That's the backup. That's the backup rate for a quarterback now. It's a late round pick, and even if he's not going to be the guy, that's the compensation. So we could have, if the situation arose where we had better scenarios for him, yeah, we could have got something better for him. But it is what it is. Hopefully he plays enough time, because Russ is going to rust probably still. So hopefully we get that 4th round pick in return.
I don't know if Pittsburgh, unless there's an injury, I don't know if Pittsburgh will let Fields get the 51% or whatever. But like I said, Jason, I think we mentioned it last week when Russell Wilson signed with Pittsburgh. He didn't have that bad of a year that people thought in Denver. There was a lot of bad things in Denver. I don't think Russell Wilson was part of that problem.
No.
So it'll be interesting to see if he can rejuvenate his career or not. Because if he can't, they got somebody waiting in the wings.
No, but Dougie, before I let you go real quick, I just want to get my last thought out here on this was, it sucks that Peter, you were saying about the situation that Fields was brought into. And yes, that was the last year of, the Nagy and Pace regimes. And when Poles came in, he had to clean up a lot of Pace's fuck ups with the salary cap.
Yeah.
So it's not like people complain like, well, Justin didn't have the weapons. He didn't have all, he was brought. Yeah. Because because the reason why Poles didn't surround him with anyone is because Bears were in salary cap hell because of all the fucking stupid contracts that Pace started giving out to these guys. It didn't work out in their favor. So yeah, it took him a year to go and clean house, and then you have to rebuild and you start over. And could Justin thrive now with Shane Waldron and better weapons? Most likely, yes. But now you have a chance, this generational potential generational quarterback falls in your lap. You can reset the quarterback clock. You have a great defense. Like, yeah, you could potentially win now, Mo, with Justin Fields, and you could probably make a deep playoff run if everything clicks and everyone stays healthy. But then you might look back and say, man, we should have just pulled the trigger on the younger quarterback and the guy. We don't know what Caleb was going to be. He could be. Here's what I was telling my wife. The reason why I trust Poles on this is because Poles was part of the KC when they scouted Mahomes. Mm-hmm. And if Poles sees the same things in Caleb Williams that he saw when they were scouting Mahomes, I'll trust it and I'll say, like, okay, that's why he's making this move. So yeah, we did not do right by Fields, but a lot of that had to do with Ryan Pace and the situation that he brought the team on. So Caleb Williams is coming into the best, like you said, the best spot that a rookie quarterback can ever come into, with all the offensive weapons, a solid defense. Yes, we need to get the O-line, but yeah, I can't really fault Justin for some of the performances, because it wasn't a good scenario for him from the beginning. It was just a clusterfuck.
So I was thinking a little bit, and what if they just don't take Caleb Williams at 1? What if they trade 1, move down to 2, and then I'm saying, you go and you grab the kid from LSU, okay? You take all that draft capital from Washington, because Washington's going to give the house, and I don't know. I think that could be a good possibility. And that's the whole thing. Think about how many number 1 quarterbacks look like they're going to be that dude and then end up being that bust. And then the second guy in the draft goes and he's the guy.
So let's just go around the room, and I'll start with Johnny and then go to Herb and stuff like that. Because I know you've been vocal, Johnny, about Caleb Williams, and you're not so sure that he's the guy. So now that Justin Fields is gone, it seems obvious that that's the route they're going, but would you do it? If the Southside Bum is the GM of the Bears, are you going Caleb Williams, or are you trading down, or are you doing something else?
I personally, obviously I would have kept Justin Fields, but yes, at this point, I'm still not sold on Caleb Williams, but you got to give the guy a chance. I mean, he was highly scouted. Everybody's saying he's got all the tools, he's saying he's going to be the next big thing or whatever. So you got to give this guy a chance. And obviously he's going to have a bunch of weapons to have once he goes there. It's definitely a very, I would say, scary moment for him, because you're going into with all the expectations that you're going to have as the next Bears quarterback, where we never had a quarterback whatsoever. This is a big thing. And now it would be one thing if the offense didn't have any wide receivers or whatever. And, he's going to have to deal with whatever, but he has a lot of weapons. I think you still need to get a center as well too. Mm-hmm. Maybe somebody to draft, because that offensive line still needs help. So that's the one thing I'm a little worried about. Obviously, you have to draft them. Dougie, it is a good idea, possibly because there are other quarterbacks out there that could possibly play or start right away in the NFL. But you did all this stuff. The writing was on the wall once they traded Justin that they were going to go for Caleb Williams. So what do you do with the 9th pick now? Do you go and trade that to get more draft capital somehow or whatever? So that's my thing right now, is that, maybe you do something with the 9th pick and see if you trade that. Because right now they don't have too much draft picks as it is for this year. And it's going to be tough. I wouldn't say it's going to be that bad, but I think you still need some more picks to see what you can do to try to maybe still build that offensive line to help Caleb Williams out here.
Herb, GM Herb, mm-hmm. What is Herb doing?
Right now, if you traded Justin Fields, I think the only choice would be Caleb Williams. I don't trust any of the rest of the quarterbacks, the Jalen Daniels of the world. I don't trust him. He looks like a Justin Fields, but skinnier. So I don't know why you would, trade away that guy to get in a lesser version of him. Caleb Williams seems like a generational talent, as they say. He makes plays off schedule. He makes plays in the pockets. Has enough juice to break out. If you do bring some pressure and some rush to him, he will get out into the open field and make you miss. but this guy is the guy that you should be going after. And I understand why Ryan Poles did it. Even if Justin Fields had one of the best seasons in this past year, I think to reset the clock as they did and to bring in a talent like Caleb Williams was the less risky move. If he would have did the Justin Fields thing where he's trading the number 1 pick and getting a lot of draft picks, I think the team would have overall been better, but it would have been a huge risk for him personally, Ryan Poles, and for the team to keep a player and to pass on Caleb Williams. Because if the Bears passed on Caleb Williams if they pass on Caleb Williams, he's going to be a beast. And, the only reason I think we're doubting Caleb Williams is because he's going to be a Bears quarterback. And, of course, Bears quarterbacks are terrible. And the Bears development is terrible. So if I'm Ryan Poles, I'm looking straight ahead to Caleb Williams. I'm already calling him. I'm saying, you're the guy. We don't need to talk anymore. Give me those medicals firstly. And then after you give me the medicals and they clear up, get ready to get drafted in the end of April and get ready to come to OTAs here in Chicago because we're going to playoffs this year type of thing. And also for the guy, I am not Herb Howard. It says right there. It says Herb Lawrence, Hector Wall 23.
I wasn't sure what was here.
I know we look alike, but
I don't know what
him.
was that comment. I wasn't going to post it on, but now that you mentioned it, it was Herb Howard.
It's a Justin sexual. I don't know what that means.
No, none of that.
That clever Ghost of Judah tribe, so clever.
I think there's a reason why Caleb Williams would arguably be the number 1 draft pick last year, and then he stayed the number 1 pick this year. I mean, the hype has been there for close to 2.5 years now. The problem is, I talked to you, Dougie, when you came over. So I spent my Saturday night, and I understand it's just highlights on YouTube, but it was a good 2 hours, and I played as many videos as I could of Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, JJ McCarthy, and Drake May. And I understand why the hype is there for Caleb Williams. The only thing that scares me is, like, while watching it, I thought to myself, like, wow, a lot of these plays must have been sacks in the NFL. Like, you can't get away with that stuff playing against Washington State and Utah and all these other places. Like, they should have been sacks in the NFL. Whereas Jaden Daniels is a little bit bigger. I know you mentioned, Herb, that he is a Justin Fields clone, but the size scares me a little bit. And we've seen quarterbacks that, succeed, whether they're like 6'1" or shorter and things like that. And I'm not saying you don't draft Caleb Williams because, the writing's on the wall. It's going to happen. But I'm just after watching, and who am I? I'm a landscaper. I'm not a NFL scout, but I saw those videos and I'm like, oh, no, Jaden Daniels maybe might be good. So all I'm saying is he might go to Washington. He goes to New England. He's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's the Bears' vicious cycle of suck, right? So if we draft him, he's going to suck. If we don't draft him, he's going to be the best thing ever. So I'm on. Let's get Caleb. Like, fuck it. Let's if it backfires, it backfires. But as long as he's not Bryce Young, like, just that looks pretty bad. But if it's semblance of how CJ Stroud looked his rookie year, I'm gonna be all having major Bears hard-ons for this season. But yeah, I'm ready to rock. My only hope is I hope that somehow, some way, Ryan Poles can figure out a trade with, like, New England or Arizona, and let's get Marvin Harrison Jr. too. Like, trade the 9th and maybe a future first or something. I just, maybe he can get creative, do something, try to get that top 5 pick so we can maybe have a chance at Harrison.
The only way, the thing I'll argue is, like, at this point, you're down so many draft picks. You're not going to move up in the draft. You're potentially moving down.
I know. But
and the fact that there's 3 very
thinking.
viable wide receivers, and like we talk about Caleb Williams being a generational talent, there's a possibility Marvin Harrison Jr. is too. But there are 3 very good receivers in this draft, so I'm okay with them staying at 9.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see what happens. All right, Dougie, any final? You brought up the question, so yeah, we're all right. So we said we were going to table Justin Fields, Caleb Williams talk, and that lasted another whole thing of 1 week because the trade finally happened.
We said we're not gonna talk Bears until the draft. We've talked Bears every show this month.
So we probably should talk about it real quick before we move on to some White Sox talk. Bears made another big move that was Friday night. Keenan Allen traded to the Bears for a 4th round pick. Unfortunately, it was their high 4th round and not the lower 4th round pick. But Keenan Allen coming in, he's going to be 32 years old. Best receiver already in Bears history based on stats, which is sad. But he's going to be 32. He did mention today that he's open to a potential contract extension. So he stays healthy. See who they draft. If we get, one of the big 3 receivers and then have him in the slot and have Keenan and DJ Moore in the ends, I'll be happy for a very, very long time. But Herb, thoughts on Keenan Allen coming to the Bears?
Outstanding. One of the best route runners as far as a wide receiver in the league. And I know people, when they hear Keenan Allen's name and then tangentially think about him, they think, okay, he's often hurt. But in the last 6 years, he's played most of the games. And last year, he played 13 of the 17 games that the Chargers played. I love the player because when I was in San Diego, he was just starting his career with Phillip Rivers, doing his thing as far as saving that guy. And now with Justin Herbert, he's catching everything. Mike Williams and him are an outstanding duo. Now he gets to come to Chicago. Imagine if you're a defense and you got to line up one side against DJ Moore, who's in his prime, or Keenan Allen, who's probably just slightly on the other side of his prime, but last year he still caught 108 balls, 1,200 yards on the field. So you put your defense, you got to go against him in conflict with also Cole Kmet coming over the middle and the running backs coming out of the backfield. So you're going to have a lot of problems if you're a defense going against the Bears with those weapons out there. I cannot believe that the Chargers just said, hey, 4th round on them out. I understand they were in cap hell and they had to have some relief. They just straight released Mike Williams and asked for reductions in both Bosa and Mac's contract. But if I were them, I would have been trading one of those, not Bosa. I would have been trading Khalil Mack if somebody won him for 4th or 5th and kept keeping Keenan Allen, especially for Justin Herbert, who's supposed to be progressing. But I understand that Jim Harbaugh also probably wants to run the ball more than he wants to pass it. And having a luxury like Mike Williams and Keenan Allen on the team is just that, a luxury. And so he probably wants to have something brand new and more of a diesel running back game. But hey, I'm glad that they went over there and they said, hey, we got to get rid of this player and get a 4th rounder for it because the Bears are going to benefit from him. And I hope that GM Ryan Poles is working on a 2 or 3 year extension for this guy. So he's just not thinking about his last contract here. So he has some of the money spread out as far as Keenan Allen's contract and also the assurity that you're going to be here for multiple years if you're Keenan Allen, because playing on a contract, you probably play a little bit more tentative. You don't want to get hurt. If you got some security and a signing bonus, you're a little bit more confident that you're going to be there for a minute. And so you can go all out and ball out.
Oh,
yeah. I think it's a great trade. And I said last week on the pod that MVB to the Chargers for being $25 million over the salary cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause that just helps us. So yeah, he didn't want to take a pay cut and then he was traded. And, I don't know if you heard the Colin Cowherd comments earlier today where he basically said that he's upset that Keenan Allen didn't take a pay cut, that he should have taken it and stayed with Justin Herbert and not come to the Bears because they don't have a history of developing and winning and blah, 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 just typical Colin Cowherd bullshit. But hey, I don't blame him at all. He's going to be 32. He wants that. He's in the twilight of his career. He wants to get that money. I'm not going to fault him for not taking a pay cut, and I'm happy the Bears got him. We got the salary cap. We need veteran wide receivers to train these young guys because maybe he can teach Velus Jones how to fucking catch a football. Because the fact that this guy's still on the team,
Are you sure
I know,
Velus
but the fact that this guy's still on the team is that's true too. He's
that's
probably
a great
older
point.
than
They're
Keenan
about the same age.
But hopefully, with these two guys now, a lot of the younger guys can get mentored and progress, and be the future. So, yeah, I'm happy. I'm the good trade all around with that.
Oh,
Yeah. I was all but 5 minutes before Justin Fields got traded out. I just started thinking, man, oh my God, Allen, Moore, and Marvis and Harrison Jr. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, this is like the greatest show on turf on some like shitty Chicago grass, and I was geeked, and then, that kind of deflated as soon as Fields got, traded, but it was fun for a while.
The greatest show on mud after a Bad Bunny concert in like mid-September. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Spray paint grass.
All right. Let's wrap up the Bears talk because we just got to keep the train rolling here.
There's breaking baseball news. Drew Bogues and Brian S is in the comments. Blake Snell to the Giants. Herb, initial thoughts on that?
Good for him, and it's only like $32 million a year or something like that for 2 years. Baby, that's a great move for the Giants, and good move for Blake Snell to be in that cavernous ballpark out there in San Francisco and stay in the same division that he was the last couple of years.
All right. Now it's time to officially say, let's pay some ads, right?
Let's do it.
So, from our newest sponsor, Chickies Beef.
The Chicago Sports Bums are proud to announce our newest sponsor, the original Chickies Beef and Banquet, located at 4152 Roosevelt Road in Hillside. Serving you all your favorite beef stand classics. An absolute must while you're there is their pan pizza. And when you're done, make sure you save room for dessert. Their famous cannoli milkshake is a perfect ending to any great meal. Stop in today and tell them the Chicago Sports Bum sent you.
Good job, Dougie. Good job on the ad read there. We had to throw the deal came together late this afternoon tonight, so we had to throw a quick ad together. So good job, Dougie, on the ad read. Let's get
radio voice.
Do a couple. Let's go super chats here. Drew Bogue super chat slowed. So cheers to friendly her. Yeah, I like that. If you notice that people are not sending us money, keep the train going, man. The show goes on.
It's like whenever there's a thread online, bump. Drew
yes.
is a bump. I like that.
Yes. And then a little Yumper salute, Yump.
Salute, Yump.
All right. So let's get to the other big news of the week, and that was 2 weeks before spring training, the season started. Dylan Cease gets traded. He had a great outing, and then he finally gets moved. Going to the San Diego Padres. They are receiving 4 prospects in return. Drew Thorpe, which was their number 5 prospect. Samuel Zavala, their number 7th ranked prospect. Right-handed pitcher Hario Uriante. Hayo, yeah. I'm never gonna get that name right. Number 8th prospect, and then right-handed pitcher Steven Wilson. So it sucks, that we had to see our ace go. We all love Dylan Cease. We all love the stash. But this was rumored ever since the end of this season last year, and it's right. We all thought the winter meetings was going to be the big time when it was going to get traded, but 2 weeks with Sox expert Herb Lawrence. What do you think on this trade?
I thought that Chris Getz should have held on to Dylan Cease until he found the team that he wanted to deal with. And that's what happened with the Padres. Like, people were blaming him for not trading him earlier in the winter where, the Baltimore Orioles, the Reds, the New York Yankees were all interested in a couple other teams. But I don't think he got the deal that he wanted for the value of the player that Dylan Cease is. And then when the Padres send their 5, 7, and 8 prospects along with Major League veteran Steven Wilson to the White Sox, I think you can't turn that down. Now, I know people are going to look at the Drew Thorpe stats from today and his White Sox spring debut and giving up 8 earned runs and look at that and say, oh, White Sox got fleeced. But give it time. The guy had almost 190 strikeouts last year and 133 innings in between A and Double A for the Yankee organization. I think he'll be fine. Now, the fastball, it's nothing to sneeze at. It's like 92 topping. And his pitches specifically are the 70-plus changeup and then the slider that he features. And so I believe that he's a huge part of it. The person that I'm most excited about is Sammy Zavala. That's 19 now. And when he was 18, he played a full season. One of the only people in minor leagues that was 18 and got over 600 plate appearances in the league, in the minor league system. And he did pretty well for himself until he got to high A. Of course, those people are like 4 to 5 years older than he is right now. And so I think that player, if the White Sox have a good development system, which I believe Josh Barfield coming over from Arizona is an upgrade from Chris Getz as far as development. And that player at the lefty bat, outfield, plays center field right now, will be the key to this Dylan Cease trade. And Dylan Cease, I'm a secondary Padres fan, so I'm happy that he's going to a team that I like, and they needed that kind of person, kind of an ace type person at the top of the rotation because Yu Darvish is coming down. Joe Musgrove is not the ace caliber player as he used to be, and losing Blake Snell, they need somebody else in there to take up those innings and also take up all the walks that he gives up. So you get a guy who leads the league in walks, and you get another guy who comes back with some walks. So I thought that Chris Getz, as a first-year GM, surprised me with his stealth and his steely nerves not to just jump at the first deal that Dylan Cease was presented and wait until pretty much the season started to get the deal that he wanted from the Padres.
Yeah, I had resigned myself to the fact that it was going to be a trade deadline move at that point. So the fact that it happened, and it happened like, so close to opening day, we're 13 days away or so. Yeah, I feel like the internet, especially today, is the sky is falling with Drew Thorpe. But, not looking too much into it, I feel like it's going to be, I'm excited for him to, eventually get to the major league roster, whether it's, not opening with the, not opening day, but at least sometime this year we're going to see him. But like you mentioned, the Samuel Zavala, shout out our buddy Charlie Zavala, his cousin. Not for real. It seems raw. Like 19 years old, he's got, like you mentioned, a full season. He's just raw, but like that could be something. The thing that would worry me is like we've seen a lot of these players in the White Sox farm system to the point that we're like, oh, he's gonna be good. Just give him time. And then you give him time, or sometimes they rush him into the major leagues and everything goes to shit. But all things being said, I think Chris Getz. We had Josh Nelson on a couple weeks ago, and I asked him to grade Chris Getz's offseason, and he said it was an incomplete until we saw what he did with Dylan Cease. Now that that's happened, I feel like we can give him a grade, and I think it's like shockingly better than expected. We talked about, the nepotism hire, and like he didn't do anything when he was developing and all the Royals, and that's, I mean, obviously all the Royals is a little bit too much, but all things being considered, I'm giving him a passing grade, at least this far. And I know we can't judge these moves until 2, 3, 4 years down the line, but at least it's like they have a plan and they're kind of sticking to it. Whether or not that plan works and whether or not that plan is any damn good, I don't know. But I'm at least excited, not for this year, but maybe for the future.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, and you kind of brushed on it a little bit, is I think White Sox fans are just so sour about prospects that like every trade is going to look bad because they're just so tired of like players not getting developed correctly, or like you said, getting rushed up into the majors and then, getting put right back down. And then it's like their confidence is broken. I think that White Sox fans in general are like, they're just burnt out on the, like, oh, this guy's in the top 100. This guy's, a for sure thing. And then he doesn't pan out. And, they built that whole rah-rah, we're going to the World Series thing on it, and look where it got us. The window never even opened. It was a wall. It wasn't even a window.
Cinder blocks.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things for me with Cease being traded is okay. So obviously our win total is going to drastically decrease. Most, and with the way that the new MLB draft rules, we're fucked. Like we're not getting the top pick. I think what is it? We can't draft until 8 or 9 now, based on the rules. Herb, do you know exactly what it is?
This year they have the 5th pick, and I think they cannot get within the top 6 the year after that, if I believe correctly, because they are not a low market, not a small market. I believe that is like once you're in the draft lottery, which is the top 6 picks, and if you're a big market, you can't be back in it.
Don't they know Jerry runs it like a small market? Come on, man! Like
somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
Financials, man.
Please correct me if I'm wrong.
The trade happened while we were doing the Bums happy hour last week, and in that, like the happy hour, people asked us who's the opening day starter was going to be, and that was before they announced that Michael Kopech was going back in the bullpen. So I'm going to start with you, Herb. Now that the opening day starter was announced, and I said to Jason, print the crotch rocket shirts because it's Garrett Crochet and we're ready to go with them. How do you? The starting lineup is for the starting pitchers we're looking at Crochet, Fetty, Soroka, Flex, and Nestrini. Like I saw people online being like, well, they have to sign somebody between now and the beginning of the season. I don't know if that's happening or not. Are we running with these guys? Obviously, we are running with these guys, huh?
Yeah, it's too late to sign somebody and those people to be ready for opening day. The Garrett Crochet thing, to me, is dumb, really dumb to do. If they're seriously about him being the open day starter and all that comes along with being the open day starter, like the ace of the staff, to give them innings, he has not started a professional game in his life. And so to make him not only a starter in rotation, which he's earned it by having a great spring, but if you look at the innings pitched in each one of those starts, I think the most is 3 innings. Yeah. They still got to stretch this guy out. And to have one of your young prospects be not stretched out and then put him in that role. Now, I haven't heard what Pedro had to say after the game today to explain his decision there, but I would want him more to be a guy that was in the minor leagues, getting stretched out and learning how to pitch and develop, instead of being in the major leagues, getting major league innings and then having to leave after 60 pitches, or pitching well and then it's 40 innings into the year where that's pretty much his max the last couple years, and then his arm is tired because he's never done it before. I know he believes in himself, but to pitch 120 innings is a lot of innings on an arm that has never done that before. So I don't think it's a good thing for the White Sox to do. I think the player will excel in the innings that he does pitch, but I'm worried about him getting hurt and them hurting him by doing this move for him.
Now, you mentioned Pedro's decision. Do you think it was Pedro's decision? Like, realistically, it should be Pedro's decision, but do you think Bannister and Getz had anything to do with this?
Oh, yeah. They had, if not, I think probably he leans on Bannister and Ethan Katz to handle the pitching staff and listens to what they say. And I'm sure that Chris Getz had some words to say about it too. But unless they're just going to be having this guy as an opener and match him with Michael Kopech, like every time he goes out, Michael Kopech will relieve him after 4 innings or something like that, then I don't know what's the deal. Like, it doesn't seem like a person that doesn't ever start can be 6 innings, 5 innings, or anything that is really representative of a real starting pitcher. I don't think this is going to succeed. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope that the kid just goes out and has just the most mediocre season, but 120 innings. Yeah. And so the next year, he's just hitting the ground running. But I don't see that coming. I see them shutting him down after a while, either for injury or just for himself. And then we have to go and find another starting pitcher. It's fine to do that, but it's a really bad blow for those rest of those players in that locker room. We're like, yeah, the experiments are good and all, but we're trying to win games here, and you're having this kid out here go only 4 innings, so now we're taxing the bullpen behind there, especially on opening day. We're already starting to tax the bullpen. I understand they already got a Friday off that day, but then his second start is versus the Atlanta Braves. So good luck, kid. Enjoy yourself.
It's a bullpen game, home opener. He's the opener. He's not the starter. He's the opener. I tweeted out earlier, and you saw her, like, I might stay in the parking lot and drink for the entirety of the game. Like, I'm gonna wait. Like, if he pitches and he's already given up 5-6 runs in the first inning, I'm just staying in the lot all day, and maybe I'll walk in for the class picture, and then I'm going back to the lot for just make a quick appearance.
Dude, if that's your game plan, there is a 0% chance. Like, you have no control over your booze intake in the parking lot, and then you're gonna try and walk to the class pitcher. Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen.
Yeah. All right. So we'll wrap up the White Sox talk here. Just a quick note. Next week we're going to bring on our co-hosts from Bums and the Bleachers, Prez and the Dram Daddy, and we're going to be talking. It's our baseball kickoff show, so we'll be previewing the season, doing predictions with our Cubs guys, and we'll be talking a lot of baseball next week. So look forward to that. Okay, so before we wrap up the sports talk, we got one more thing we got to talk about, and something that I don't have anything to say about. So I'm going to let our two resident.
I was about to say, Johnny's been a little quiet, and I know he's chomping at the bit to talk Illini. We don't let you talk Illini on the show, only because we don't know what we're talking about. So now you got Herb here. Johnny, what'd you think of the game yesterday, and what do you think of their chances going forward with the bracket and everything like that? I'll let you go, because let you run wild Ultimate Warrior style.
Well, me and Herb are actually in a group chat, an Illini chat, and we kind of go back and forth. We talk almost every single time whenever there's a Illini game and all that. So I'm definitely excited. This team has a lot of talent. They got two great players in Damask and Terrence Shannon Jr. that could score easily 20 points each. They could score big, over 90 to 100 points. I mean, they've been the second, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, they're their second highest Illinois as far as scoring points per game since the 89 Flying Illini. Is that correct?
I think that is correct.
Yeah. So, I mean, they could score. Their defense is a little sketchy, but I think that the team that they have, and Underwood, I think he's got his team that he's wanted since that number one seed when they had Io and Kofi. Just a lot of athletic players. They're very tall. They're very fast. Terrence Shannon Jr. is, I mean, he just has ice in his veins, and so does Damask. Coleman Hawkins. He's also another talented person as well, player as well too. Where if his defense is good, but he could score as well too. For a guy who's 6'10", he could shoot the three. He's just very fast as well too. Another thing too is Dane Danger as well too. He's been playing very well since they've been giving him more minutes as well too. So I'm excited, Herb. I know we've been talking in the chat a lot, and I think that, with them winning the Big Ten tournaments, the way that they came back from, I can't think of the game that they came back from. It was against Nebraska. They were down 15 points. They came back and won. I think this team is built to go far. If they don't reach the Sweet 16, I think it would be very disappointment. I just can't see them not going having an early exit. I just think this team is very good. And don't get me wrong, the NCAA tournament is you don't know what's going to happen. So it's not like how they used to have it where these mid-majors, when it was back in the 90s, it would be an easy, if it was a 1, 2, 3 seed, they would go and beat them. Nowadays, you never know who's going to win. So Illinois does have a tough opponent. And they do have a tough bracket as well too, because you got UConn in there, you got Iowa State as well too, very good teams. So Yeah, I'm excited. Like I haven't been this excited since I thought that that number one seed when they had Io and Kofi that they were going to go that far in there. But Herb, I don't know what your thoughts are about this. How far you think they're going to go? But I'm excited. I know you're excited as well too.
Oh yeah, this 3 games they had in the Big Ten tournament, kind of frustrating at first because they were down by double digits to each one of their opponents, and none of those opponents were even close to them in talent. And so I was discouraged initially, but now that I know that they have a light switch and they just turn it on whenever they need to, like Nebraska, like you said, was up 15 and they were like, all right, that's enough. And then turned it on and beat Nebraska, I think by 10 plus. And same thing happened yesterday versus Wisconsin. They went up 10 in the second half. And then the line, I was like, okay, I'm glad you guys scored all those points. And now it's time to lose. That hasn't been shown by this Illini team all year long, because once they get down, they battle, but they usually lose those games. I mean, the Penn State game comes to mind. But the draw is tough. But I'm always of the mind of, if you are who you say you are, I'm not trying to do a Lupe Fiasco song.
I like that.
You should be able to battle. You should be able to smoke the hell out of Morehead State when you first play them. And then if it's BYU, you tell them, go back home. I hope you don't play basketball on Sunday ever, because we're going to relieve you of that on this Saturday. So get your Mormon ass back to the crib. And so if you are that, you should be minimum a Sweet 16 team, which they haven't been under Brad Underwood. And I love Brad, but in-game coaching is not his thing, but he's been doing well as of late. So if they come down to them losing to BYU, or God forbid they lose to Morehead State, this is going to be another disappointing year. The Sweet 16 is the minimum bar that the Illini and their fans should accept on this team. As Stupid Kid said, Terrence Shannon is a thing. And he might be playing better than Io ever played in his Illini career. And that's saying something, because Io is one of the best of all time in Illinois history.
He definitely is driving through the basket as quickly as Io. I mean, he could shoot the three. He knows what to do in certain situations. He definitely can, get a foul easy, just going to the rim. I agree. I think he is definitely one of the best players in the league right now that is not really getting his praise. And then Domask, you got to talk about Domask as well too, because he is a compliment to Terrence Shannon Jr. If Terrence is not scoring that much, Domask, I think with him, he kind of starts out slow and then he starts picking it up as the game goes on. And what a pickup from Southern Illinois. I mean, when we first got him, I'm just like, I was like, all right, let's see how he goes. And he's been well beyond advertised. I mean, he's just been, great. And I'm glad that we have like two scorers that can easily score 20 points a game. I mean, he scored 30 points at the Garden. So I just think that, if we don't go to Sweet 16, I would definitely be disappointed for sure.
So that's where I'm going to ask you before we wrap up Illini talk. Is that the goal? It's Sweet 16 or bust? Because Johnny, I'm riding with you with the Illini. You and shout out Rick Brown. You guys were the best mans in my wedding. He's a Purdue graduate, and my longest running friend is a Marquette graduate. This is the only time all three of those teams have been worth a damn at the same time in a long ass time. So I'm putting all my eggs into the Illini, Marquette, Purdue basket, and I'm gonna bum of the week whoever doesn't get to the Sweet 16. Is that the goal? And I'll ask both you and Herb: is Sweet 16 or bust? Or can they make a Final Four run? I don't know how good this team is.
They have a lot of people in their bracket, as Johnny said. Iowa State's gonna defend the hell out of Illinois and probably score a bunch of points because the Illini don't score. So it's gonna be tough for them to get past. Firstly, BYU is the 6th seed, and then I forgot who they would play in the Sweet 16. But if they get past there for the Elite 8, it'll be Iowa State waiting for them. And if they get past them, it'll be the reigning champion UConn Huskies to get to the Final Four. So if they get to the Final Four, they'll have to have some people upset those other people. Like when Purdue is on the bracket with Illinois and like for this Big Ten championship, I was thinking like somebody else has to beat them. It has to be sorry, Stoop kids, Northwestern Wildcats to beat them because they can beat them, or it has to be Wisconsin, who did beat them in the Big Ten championship. For Illinois to get to the Final Four, they need somebody to beat UConn, and they need somebody to beat Iowa State. And that's sad to say, but they don't match up with certain teams, and certain teams would dominate them, and especially UConn would absolutely kill the Illini. And they'll kill everybody, but the Illini would get embarrassed by UConn if they played for the Final Four spot.
I think one thing about that I think we really miss is actually having a point guard. We didn't address that in the off. Obviously when transfers were. We were trying to get a point guard, but I mean we didn't have anybody to pretty much take control of the game. And obviously Ty Rodgers is not a point guard, but I mean he's great. He is coming on his own. I like the improvement from year one to now. He is driving off on the rim and I he's not the true point guard. That's why, UConn and the Iowa States and all them, they're definitely those teams. UConn is a beast. My question, Herb, is do you think that Purdue is going to get past the first or second round here?
Oh, they're getting past the first round. They're playing like Howard or some other team. I know last year they lost to Fairleigh Dickinson. Yeah. But they're way too talented. They're much more talented this year than they were last year, even though they have similar players and not the same players, except for Lance Jones, who also was from SIU. They're shooting the three ball much better this year. I think I had a 40% clip, as last year was like in the 30s. And so when you do dump the ball down to Edey and he gets double or triple teamed, he could pass our ball out to Braden Smith or Lawyer, and they'll knock down a shot every once in a while. Well, most of the time. And so I think they're a better team. Now, I'm rooting the hell against them. I'll be having my Howard and or whatever pom-poms ready for them to lose because fuck Purdue. And then secondly, I don't believe that, Zach Edey is anything. I think he should, reinstate for another year for next year because he ain't going to the NBA. If he is, he's just coming off the bench as a big, tall dude for last second block shots or something like that.
All right. Well, we're rooting for your happiness, even though I kind of like to poke at Illini fans. I mean, it's all in good fun, Johnny. I'd like to pester you more than anything. Yeah. But yeah. Jason, you ready before we let you go, Herb? Because I know you've been gracious.
No, what are you talking about?
No, I'm saying you've been gracious with your time, but we've been teasing this segment for the better part of a year. It's the return of Lawrence versus Viking.
Jason, hold on, relax.
Before we do that,
you're gonna yell at me.
I thought you were kicking Herb off. I was like, hold on a second. Before we do that, we have to pay more bills.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you're right.
Because we have our second we got two new sponsors. So here's our second sponsor, Village Pub.
The Chicago Sports Bums proudly announce their newest sponsor, Village Pub, located at 8839 Cermak Road in North Riverside, serving the best American and Italian dishes. With weekly specials, Tuesday, half off bottles of wine, Wednesday, $5 off all burgers, Saturday night karaoke, and Sunday, $5 off all pasta dishes. Stop in today and tell them the Chicago Sports Bum sent you.
Ads. Get that money. Good night, SPF.
Good night, SPF.
Have a good one.
Good night.
All right. It's been over a year. The people have been clamoring for it for the better part of a year.
Mostly Beef Loaf, because he was in the comments when the train wreck happened. So for those that don't know, because we do have a lot of new listeners and viewers and things like that, we appreciate everybody. A year ago or so, Dougie was on vacation, or you weren't even signed on with the Bums yet.
No,
and it was Johnny was gone. Johnny was on sabbatical, and it was you and Joey P. And I decided to do a Lawrence versus Viking trivia because you guys were St. Lawrence graduates. Now that we got Herb Lawrence on, I'm like, we're bringing it back. And that was a train wreck. I purposely tried to do this. So I have 10 questions. I'm going to put you into teams. So it's going to be Johnny and Jason versus Dougie and Herb. So you know what I'll do? I'll move you there. I got 10 questions. They're all Viking or Lawrence related. And I really started really easy. So I'm going to start with our guests because that's the proper way to do this. And there's no multiple choice. If you guys don't know the answer, I'll give you guys about 10 seconds or so. Then you guys can steal. And first to 10 or best of 10 wins. First one.
I got like 0 right last year, so I'm excited.
Nobody got any right. Like the comments got none. It was like dead silence for a good 30 minutes, and people were laughing, and Beef Love was having a hell of a time. But I feel like this one's gonna go better, not just because we have a much smarter person on the panel, but like I made the questions much easier. So no pressure to Herb.
Yeah,
all right,
I apologize, Herb.
All right, I'm gonna go Dougie and Herb go with the first one, and these are just like lollipops to start off with. Number one, this wide receiver was 2022's Offensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
I mean,
yeah,
Viking.
Yeah, Viking.
Should we name the person?
Yeah. You have to name the person. I should mention that.
Justin
Jefferson. All right, so 1-0. I'm gonna say good guys. You guys are the bad guys. So Herb good, Jason bad. All right, Jason and Johnny. This American actress, known for her starring roles in both action films and independent dramas, has grossed over $6 billion worldwide in her career.
Jennifer Lawrence.
There we go. 2 for 2 with the team. We're rolling here. Now we're going. I love it. All right. Number 3. This MLB catcher is an 18-time All-Star. He is one of only 6 players to win the American League Most Valuable Player Award. He won it 3 times. He is widely regarded as one of the greatest catchers in baseball history.
I think.
So here's the thing.
I think I know what this answer is. Dougie, do you mind if I answer it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's a Lawrence, but I think it's Yogi Berra. His first
name
is Lawrence.
It is, and that was like a little curveball. There's no way these two bozos on top would have got that, but Yogi Berra is the correct answer. 2-1.
I knew that. I just humbly let Herb take it.
We believe you, Dougie. All right. Question number 4. This Norse explorer was described in medieval and Icelandic saga sources as having founded the first European settlement in Greenland and is known for his famous hair and beard.
Is it Igor the Red?
No. Do you guys want to steal the question?
Dougie?
I don't have hair, so it isn't me.
He looks like you, Dougie.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's Eric the Red. Eric the Red was what I was looking for.
Igor translates to Eric in Russian.
If that's true, I'll give you a if that's true, I'll give you a point, but I don't believe you.
Hold on, let me look it up real quick. Igor in Russian. All right, it might take a couple minutes to look up.
All right, yeah. We'll go to the next one. All right, we're going with Herb and Dougie. All right. This American football player played for 12 seasons, earning 4 first-team All-Pro selections, and led the league in sacks in 2007 and 2011.
Dougie, you ready? Are you going to do it?
No.
I'm going to say Jared Allen.
It's Jared Allen. That was another tough, or not a tough one. Another tough one.
You're carrying the team, Herb.
First time ever.
Jason, Johnny, you guys are wrestling fans, so I'll give you this one. This retired professional wrestler, bodybuilder, and football player is best known for his time in both WCW and WWF. He's a 2-time WCW champion, and he is the second WCW Triple Crown champion, although he never won a championship in WWF. Now, I'll give you this one because I'm going to give Herb and Dougie another question. It's another one of the Yogi Berra types. His real name is Lawrence, but his stage name is not.
But I was gonna say Lawrence Taylor because he did some wrestling.
Yeah, I'll give you one more hint. He was 1992's Wrestler of the Year.
Oh fuck!
That's right in our wheelhouse. We were like,
I know, like, but I can't. I didn't follow Dave Meltzer back when I was 10 years old. So yeah, I don't know that one.
Herb, Dougie, any guesses?
Dougie, any guess?
I think Herb's got it. I saw his eyes light up.
I'm just gonna guess Lex Luger.
It's Lex Luger. Herb is on a roll here. This is a one-man show.
When you said bodybuilder,
bodybuilder. I thought that was gonna give it away. The bodybuilder.
I see. Right. That's who I immediately thought of too, but I didn't. I was like, okay, but I didn't know that was his real name was Lawrence.
Yeah. So his real name is Lawrence Wendell Fole, aka Lex Luger.
Wow. No, would have never guessed that by his face.
Yeah. Because that's what I originally thought of, but I was like, there's no way he's a Lawrence. But
this one's a little tougher. I would know it because I am a sucker for this type of music, but I'll give it to you, Dougie and Herb. This American punk rock band from Chicago, formed in 1999, released 7 full-length albums, and has toured extensively. They took their name from the apartment complex in which they lived in. Chicago punk rock band.
Dougie, you got it? Mine would be a guess, a pure guess.
Mm-hmm.
But do you have it, Doug?
No, I don't.
I'm just gonna say Lawrence the band.
Oh, close, but no. Do you guys want to steal? I mean, I'm kind of giving it away. It's close. Johnny, maybe Chicago punk rock band.
Johnny would know this more.
Now I know it. All
right, now this is going back to this is what real Lawrence versus Viking feels like. A lot of dead silence, a lot of questioning. It was the Lawrence Arms. Yep. Treasy got it. All right, who's next? I lost track. It's Johnny and Jason, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry that this is just the way it breaks. This Norse explorer.
Sorry. I was laughing. Start from the top.
This Norse explorer, who thought to have been the first European to set foot in continental America, approximately half a millennium before Christopher Columbus.
Jesus.
You guys knew this was happening. Just study a couple Vikings. There's only like 3 famous ones.
I already said Eric the Red.
There's only like one other guy.
Blackbeard? No, he's a pirate.
Yeah, it's a pirate. Herb, Dougie, anybody?
I mean, I think the people like Praz and
they got it. Leif Erikson. All right, we got 2 left. Herb and Dougie already won. So this is just to, finish it off.
Shits and giggles.
For shits and giggles. This Brooklyn-born American rapper rose to prominence in the late 80s and early 90s with songs like Sound of the Police and Step into a World. And so this is another stage name.
Okay. It's the teacher, of course. BDP's KRS-One.
KRS-One. Yep. KRS-One, sneaky good. I went when I was doing this the trivia, I just started playing it. I was like this.
The Sound of the Police.
All right, Johnny, Jason, this is just one. I literally I copied this question exactly as I copied it from the original Lawrence versus Viking. So this is just for pride. This fictional TV show.
I'm gonna get it wrong.
This fictional TV show within a TV show, and the lead character is Torvald of Northumbria, and is played by the brother of a more famous leading actor.
Johnny, you know it? I know it.
Viking Quest.
Yeah, there we go. It's an Entourage question. You better get that. Johnny and I watch Entourage every Sunday for the better part of our 20s when we lived together.
Victory.
That went better than last time.
I got 2. We got 2 right?
Yeah, you guys got 2 right. Herb and Dougie got 6. So they boat raced you guys.
I got 1. I got 1 at the beginning. I just married well with Herb. That's all.
Proud of you. But yeah, that was the return of Lawrence versus Viking, and that now officially is a dead segment. There's only we're only doing it twice. We only brought it back because Herb Lawrence was here, and I don't have any more Viking and or Lawrence questions. I've exhausted all of them.
You ran through all your Viking questions.
That's it. That's all we got.
Without using Thor. All right. Herb, we want to thank you so much for coming on the BumCast. And before you go, please feel free to plug all your good content.
Well, you can find me at CHGO White Sox. We do a daily show, 5 o'clock right now in the off season. And when you get the season, we're doing Sunday through Thursday shows after the game each time. So it's myself, Sean Anderson, and Vinny Duber. Vinny's at the ballpark on home games as the beat writer. Sean's the host of our show. And so if you want to join us and want to listen to what we got to say about the White Sox every day, come and join us, CHGO White Sox. And I know you guys are having whiskey at Comiskey, and I have that shirt on from last year on opening day on the 28th. We're, if you're going to that, definitely go to that 100%. But we're having an opening day also at Ballpark Pub from only 12 to 1. And then, if you just want to stop in, say what's up, and then head over to Whiskey at Comiskey, come on, do that, because I know I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to go over there.
Yeah. We got some good bourbons for you to try this year, my friend.
That would be great. Everybody,
so, I might not do much.
Stop into the Ballpark pub and then head over to Whiskey at Comiskey. That's a perfect plan.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Herb. We'll see you next week for sure. Can't wait to party it up with you at Lot B this summer. It's going to be another great year, and we'll catch you on CHGO, man. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you,
guys.
Thank you, Herb.
That was Herb Lawrence of CHGO. Love always shooting the shit with him. He's a great guy to talk to.
The best. Quite literally the best.
Yeah. All right, we got one last thing to talk about, and that's our bums and envies. But before we do that, as he mentioned, opening day, Whiskey at Comiskey, 3 o'clock. We're at the Tigers, but Whiskey Comiskey starts at noon. So we got Chef Brian ready. He's going to be cooking up a whole bunch of good, tasty tailgate food. We got a bunch of good bourbons and whiskey sponsored by Michter's this year. So if you like Michter's, you're going to love coming out to join us for some tasty pours. And here we got the menu. We got Jerry's Tiny Wieners is featured, as well as Maxwell Street Sliders, Broughton Pepper Tacos, and for dessert, Crack and Jack Bourbon Balls. So thank you to Chef Brian Ruddy. Thank you to everyone who's RSVP'd so far. Keep dropping those RSVPs in the pinned tweet on the Shy Sports Bums Twitter account. We want to just make sure we're about a week out, so we have to make sure we get enough food for everyone. So we know not everyone's going to be eating, but we just want to be over-prepared, I guess you could say. So make sure you keep dropping those as well. And another friendly reminder that on June 1st, along with Sox Machine and the 108 Gentlemen, we will be doing the White Sox road trip to Milwaukee. It's going to be a shit show, so thanks to everyone who's already RSVP'd to that event. It's going to be fun. Dougie's going to be doing a lot of meets, so look forward to that. That's going to be a fun weekend, guys. So
meets for everyone. I love that you're just running with the tagline. It's gonna be a shit show. That's the that's a tagline we're running with.
That should just be on the tailgate shirt. It's on the back. It's gonna be a shit show.
I was at the shit show.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
All right. And now it's time to close our show, as always, with Bums and MVBs.
I think he's a bum. I think he's an absolute bum.
You call me a bum? My man, I take that with pride, with honor, that I'm a bum. I'm the king of the bums, baby.
Because you're training like a damn bum, you know that? Bum. A bum.
Bum.
Bum. All right. Let's start off with fellow bum Praz, MVB, Dougie, for providing me a new way to watch porn and record bums and bleachers with a new laptop. So yes, Dougie, you texted us out of the blue on Friday that you gifted Praz a new laptop to help with the quality and get him in nice 4K. So it's a very nice thing for you to do, Dougie. So MVB, definitely MVB. You might be MVB of the year for that one.
Yeah, I like that, Dougie. You're like investing in the bums and the bleachers, because they had a really great show with Aloha Mr. Hand talking all things Sammy Sosa last week. If you missed it, go check that out. It was really good. Not just if you're a Cubs fan, but if you're just a baseball fan in general. And then you're like, Dougie, I'm gonna get Praz a full blown laptop and stuff. So I'm excited to see what you buy me.
Yeah. Well, I can't really tell you right now.
Thanks.
Not on the air. Not with sponsors watching.
And bum of the week, all the bleeding hearts have freaked out about my Sox Summers kids holding up clearly empty beer cans on St. Patty's Day weekend. Yeah, that was obviously a joke and not very serious. If you're just being a keyboard warrior with that, don't touch grass.
Yeah.
I took a picture of my kids with my Modelo cans, and I said, I stand with my Sox summer. Let the kids have some beer.
It's like a rite of parenting. Like if you have a kid, you give them a empty beer can to hold and you take a picture. It's what you do.
One of the more famous pictures, I know Johnny, you'll know it. Maybe I'll post it later on. Is me looking like a Charlie Brown looking ass with like, I had blonde hair when I was a kid and like a big old head, like a fucking lollipop. And my parents got like this gigantic thing of Jose Cuervo, and that was just like a picture we had in our house, like blown up forever. It's like whatever. The internet would be a follower.
Yep. All right, next up. Drew Bogues, MVB, Dougie for helping me with a great life advice. Truly appreciate it. Man, Dougie, you're just
This is the Dougie show.
You're running the table now. But
Dougie
it's
show.
Dougie for calling me Switzerland when I clearly decided to support him in the 108 tourney. You're just okay. So you're transcending all genres today, Dougie. Just good and bad.
God damn, I am climate change.
Yeah, Dougie is the new climate change. We got a super chat from Herb. Thank you.
Thank you, Herb. All right, next up. CD44, MVB, White Sox Twitter. Great 108 tourney so far. So, yeah, certain aspects.
What does that mean?
You know, there's some, like when I say that,
expound on that.
There's been some like hard decisions to make for who you're going to vote for. So, and feel like some people's feelings will get hurt. So,
has there been some hard decisions like made on the main Chicago Sports Bums Twitter account?
There might have been, yes.
We'll talk about that at a later time.
Yeah. Bum, Justin Fields trade value. Holy moly. Yeah, it tanked.
Peanuts.
Dan Reyes, my MVB is Mr. Beeflo for his diabolical LOL. For him being diabolical. That's what I was saying.
He's the puppet master. We all know it.
Yeah.
It's been fun. But I mean, this is what we all want, right? Dance monkeys. That's the fun part.
We're all dancing for beef. Gerald Sullivan, MVB, the weather for cooperating yesterday for my St. Patrick's Day party. It was great weather all weekend. Can't complain about that. Bum, me for not making more content yesterday for my matchup tomorrow. That'll happen. So, but good luck, Jerry. Good luck on your matchup.
Oh, yeah. Vote for Jerry.
Vote for Jerry. And final mailman Jack, bum of the week, Aaron Rodgers. Unfortunately, this isn't just sports related. He is not a good person. I'm done. Yeah, that's why he sucks. We've had him.
I mean, he's been the on-running bum of the year close to 2 years running, right? He's been in the tournament.
Yeah.
I see tournament.
MVB, tomorrow's election day, and I'm just as glad as you that the plethora of ridiculous political mail will stop for a few months. No, it won't.
Probably not.
Probably not. I know there's a couple of MVBs and bums from people that submitted days before or late. We're sorry, 108 tourney content had a lot going on this week. Shane Spag said he sent his like a couple days ago. I'm like, you gotta do it day of, man.
Yeah,
it gets lost in the.
I love Spags, but we got shit to do. Holy, like if it's not on the pinned tweet or whatever, it's getting lost.
It's getting lost.
He was MVB and me, so it's no big deal.
Another one. All right.
Yeah, sure, Dougie. But I did see one. Jeff Bartlett sent a late one over. Bum, people buying bots during the 108 tourney, and that is
bots are afoot.
Bots suck. All right, let's get to our bums and MVBs right now, because the first one I want to talk about, and we came to a consensus in the group chat earlier today, was the horrible take and the well-deserved ratio that Robert Griffin III got for his stupid-ass commentary about how Caleb Williams needs to pull an Eli Manning and force his way to not coming to Chicago. And Mike, I wish we had time to clip that or clip portions of it, but things got hectic today. But that was probably one of the worst takes I've ever seen, because he's coming to like the best situation, like we said earlier, that a rookie quarterback can come into. And for Robert Griffin, who, let's be honest, he was a mediocre quarterback. Maybe he's a little salty still about not having a good NFL career. But for him to say that was just fucking asinine in my opinion.
Well, not only that, but he had a good rookie year, and then injuries derailed it. And
Yeah,
I don't know if he was ever going to be a great quarterback, but like maybe it was like more of a system gimmicky thing. But he had a great rookie year. I can't deny that. But the reason he should be a bum is he was trashing the Bears organization up and down. And not a couple years ago, he was literally begging to come back up Justin Fields. He wanted to come to the Bears so bad. So it's like, oh, when you were a player and you really needed a job, you didn't mind coming to the Bears, right? You wanted to back up Justin Fields. But now that you're like a talking head, it's easy to say, fuck, that's our job. It's almost like when people were making fun of Johnny and I had that tweet. I can make fun of Johnny. Other people can't make fun of Johnny. Same thing with like my sisters. I can pick at my sisters. No one else can get them. I get the shit on the Bears. We get the shit on the Bears. No one outside gets the shit on the Bears.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So consensus bum of the week for Robert Griffin III. I'm gonna go with mine real quick because I only have one, and I might get some flack for this, Dougie. Your stepdaddy with this, but I gotta bum some Cubs fans here because as soon as Dylan Cease got traded, the "we won the trade" tweets started coming out, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You didn't win shit. Like Quintana's not on the team anymore.
Yeah,
we still have Eloy.
Right.
We just got a haul of prospects back that might turn out to be fucking studs. So like, why are you saying that we lost a trade when we don't know how these prospects are going to go out, and you don't even the main piece that you traded for isn't even on your team anymore. So I don't fucking get that rationale of we want to trade. You want to talk shit, you want to troll, fine, but at least make it logical.
Yeah, I mean, as I've said before, I don't really care about him because I'm the stepdaddy. So I agree with you 100%.
That's a great tease, Praz. We'll continue this discussion next Monday night. We're gonna have Praz and the Dram Daddy, the bums in the bleachers, on, and they're gonna talk about their side of things. And we'll motherfuck them if we need to.
Yep. And I do not have any MVBs, but I'm gonna just give a quick MVB to everyone who's voted for me so far in the 108 tourney. Love you all.
That was gonna be my MVB, you motherfucker.
All right, so Peter, go ahead next.
I got two bums. So originally my bum was gonna be the royal family for what they're doing to Kate Middleton. And we don't know what they're doing to Kate Middleton, but it's a cool clusterfuck. I went down a rabbit hole on TikTok, as I do, with all the conspiracies and all the things. And I'm like, man, these fucking inbred crazy motherfuckers. Like, figure it out. Like, it's just easy. Just say it. If you're getting a divorce, get a divorce. Like, it's fucking 2024. You don't need to be all secretive and hiding. If there's something more nefarious involved, we all want to know it because it's interesting. But they should be we should be bumming the royal family forever. They stink. So they're my bums of the week. And then a quick bum of the week. This is like last minute, and I wrote the name down. The Ghost of Judah Tribe. The guy that commented earlier was just causing a ruckus, fighting with Herb, fighting with my wife. I've never had to ban anybody on this podcast, and I don't plan on banning anybody ever. But fuck that guy. You ain't fighting with Herb, the nicest guy ever, and then you're fighting with my wife. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to block you, motherfucker.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yep. And your MVB is people who vote for you.
Yeah. So. I mean, I'll toss Joey P in there, my hermano. He's a grown-ass man. I said he's handsome and tall and skinny and in shape, so he'll be fine. But mostly the people that voted against Joey P and hurt his feelings because they made me feel better about myself.
All right. Johnny, you're up. What do you got?
My what a bum is Nick Saban for saying this believes that the NIL rules have been detrimental to college sports and the game is no longer about developing players. He's just mad because the NIL is actually making things more interesting in college, not only in football, but in basketball as well, too. Those top teams like, for example, like Alabama and whatever. I mean, there's going to be other now that, you're able to like pay like college players. Now college teams are able to like have more flexibility, like for recruiting, or the transfer portal is very big as well too. And I just think he's sour on this stuff. That's the same thing as Mike Krzyzewski when he was a coach with Duke. He believed this exact same thing as well too. And then, it's not the same anymore, man. I mean, things change and whatnot, and I feel it's for the better. So I like it. This Nick Saban, he's just cranky and whatnot. So he's my what a bum. My MVP, I don't know if you heard the story about Mark Coleman. He is a former UFC champion. He ran into a burning house and saved both his parents, then went back in for their dog, but passed out in the fire. This was 6 days ago. He was in critical condition. I did see something else that he actually, he's actually better now.
Yeah, awake now.
But for the fact that he did all this stuff, I mean, that's like movie type of shit. That
hell yeah, superhero.
Yeah, and for that, man, I mean, that's such like a hero-esque story, and 1000% this guy is an MVP for sure, man, because that's family, man. You're gonna do anything you can for family and whatnot in any situation. It just, your mind goes in a whole different level when it comes to stuff like that. So I mean, kudos to him.
I'm glad you brought it up, Johnny. If you haven't seen it, just type in Mark Coleman on Twitter and the story will pop up, and the reaction to when he woke up. And he woke up and asked about his parents, and he found out that they were alive because he saved them. And he was all emotional, and it was all there. It was unbelievable, like an unbelievable feel-good story. And like Johnny mentioned, I'm glad you mentioned it because it's like it's superhero shit.
Yeah. All right, Dougie, take us home.
All right, so I'm going to start with my bum, and this one kind of hurts me. I'm bumming the Jewels.
Damn.
Yeah.
Times are tough, man.
Hard.
The Jewels.
Bad luck.
Everyone's
so I bought 2 corned beef flats and cooked them up, slow cooked them, and one of them turned out to be sour. So it was rank, and that sucked because I was really looking forward to it after doing a super long fast, and I was looking forward to leftovers, and there wasn't enough for hardly one meal. So, Jewel, you hurt me. You hurt your boy. Quick MVB, Brian S. for inviting my family in to the Chicago Wolves game. Invited us to the skybox and parking tickets and everything like that. Thank you, MVB. And lastly, it's going to be a little bit long-winded, but my MVB is all of you guys and Joey P. Last year at this time, you guys brought me on, and it is meant so much to me that you guys gave me the shot to do this and to have fun. And it was awesome how we have gone from friends at a tailgate to what I consider family. And I really can't thank you guys enough. A small reflection just on how far we've come. Last year at this time, we had 130 subscribers, and today we sit at 715. We got 2 sponsors, and we got super chats today.
All you, man.
I just want to say I love you guys. Thank you guys for taking a chance with me, and I won't ever try to disappoint you guys. So
no, dude,
you're killing it.
You never disappointed us. You've been killing it.
Let's do the circle jerk. We've all been busting our ass, every one of us, in different venues and different avenues and different ways we go about it. And that's how a team works, right? There's different ways where people contribute, and we've all been busting our ass. And I think we're seeing the fruits of our labor. So not only credit to you, Dougie, credit to everybody involved, credit to everybody watching, because honestly, without them, none of this would be possible. Absolutely. Chicky's Beef and the Village Pub, and now YouTube and the super chats and everything else involved. Now we're doing Michter's and Chef Rudy and things like that. We have plans all summer long, and it's been awesome. It's been a fun ass journey. And we're ready to roll, man. Our busy season is White Sox season, and we're excited about it. We're excited to share all the fun things we have with everyone involved, everyone in the comments, everyone on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. And we have more fun things to announce. So we'll tease it at that. But yeah, dude, we love you, Dougie. We love everyone. So thank you guys.
Yeah, it's crazy that a year ago it was just the 3 of us with Joey P as the 4th bum, and then a year later, how much our bum cartel has grown. We get
and I'll give one more. Go ahead, Jason.
No, but just with Dougie and then Mike and John and them, and then just the people who've come to be part of like the Bum family and everything like that. Like we got a lot of stuff. We're expanding, and we got a lot of good things coming down the pipeline. So go ahead, Peter.
Like the extended family obviously is like, Mary and Sarah and Julie who let us do all this nonsense and bullshit and stuff like that.
Right.
But the White Sox Twitter community, because I see Herb is still in the comments and Quaranzi and Chirizi and everyone else involved. I mean, none of that would have been possible without, bigger brands building us up, whether it's Herb at CHGO and the 108 guys putting us in a tournament last year and this year and doing everything else involved with like supporting our tailgates and everything else. Like Matt Zawoski and Pinwheels and Ivy, he's like a guy I lean on and question. Like, I could text at any time and like he gives me advice and things like that. The White Sox Twitter community, as much as I made the joke on our the Podfellas thing is a cesspool. They called it a cesspool. It's a community and it's a family. It might be a dysfunctional family at times, but we all are thankful. Yumper and the Penguins and the Ass Crew, like we do their shows, they come on our shows. All of that. Now we're getting emotional, Dougie. Thank you, but it deserves to be said because everyone involved has been awesome, and we appreciate everything.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And with that, vote for Johnny tomorrow.
Vote for Johnny. Boo Missy.
Vote for Johnny.
I know Missy's in the comments. Appreciate you too, but boo.
It's gonna be all day long. It's gonna be all day
baby.
long.
Let's go. You better pump those muscles. You better show some titties or something. You got to get those votes.
I was showing nipple on Sunday.
Yeah, people like
saw
that.
I mean,
more of that.
It was popping out of my shirt, so I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm pumped.
Thank you, Dom, for that as well. We appreciate you.
Cheers.
Yeah, so like I said, we got Johnny versus Missy tomorrow. Me and Peter, we got our matchups, our round 3 matchups coming on Wednesday.
Julie versus Roxy. We got to stump.
Yeah, Julie versus Roxy tomorrow.
She's been pumping out content. She's got 2 pieces of content that I'm excited to drop. Julie did well last year, and I'm excited to see what she can do this year. Because Roxy's no joke. Like she's got a huge following. The Ass Crew is like united. But I'm excited to see the people see what Julie.
Yes. So vote Johnny. Vote Julie. Vote HBIC. Vote Bologna. We're still. Sorry, Dougie.
I'm sad. We're still sad about that.
It's okay.
Still chugging along. But yes, thank you to everyone who joined us tonight. Thank you for everyone who tipped us your hard-earned money. We appreciate that. Give us more next week.
You motherfucker. You can't be thirsty like that.
I'm kidding. I appreciate everyone and all their generosity. So thank you guys so much. We'll catch you in the interwebs of the 108 tourney cesspool. So until then, guys, peace out. Have a great week.
Let's go.